Ben
Hello,
Trong.
hello.
Hello, Ben. Hey,
Hey, David.
hey, that sky looks blue there behind
It's
you.
yeah, blue and big, right?
Yeah, big, big. Exactly. We're giving everybody a hint about where Ben is right now, okay? Blue and big.
Blue
Hmm.
sky, big sky, where could I be?
Where could you be? All right, let's see. What time is it right now there, Ben?
Right now it's 10:47 a.m.
Okay, it's 9:47 Pacific time. Another hint. Okay,
Another
another
hint.
hint. All right.
Yes, 1 hour time difference. Mountains, mountain time. Oh, mountains, mountains and sky.
Nice, nice. All right, it's September 22nd, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We're like 40-ish days from the election, and Ben Trong and Charles Douglas and Pooya Suri are busy like traversing the country, working with our teams. So where are you today, Ben?
So right now I am in Missoula, Montana. Uh, and I am actually just getting breakfast, heading back
Yeah.
to our beautiful hotel here. Most of the team is actually not in Missoula though. A lot
Okay.
of our volunteers have made the drive down south to Ravalli County. So today they're door knocking closer to Hamilton, Stevensville. So like that strip on 93.
Okay. I'm gonna because I love maps. I love maps. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So I'm putting up the Montana map here and ask you to kind of walk us through this again. I know you're not looking at it. That's fine. So so there's Montana, folks.
Okay.
That's that big state right there, people. Okay, big state Montana right there. Um, and Ben says that she's here in Missoula. Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's Missoula over here, folks. It's when you're driving east out of Spokane and you go through the panhandle of Idaho and then you go into Montana. Missoula is kind of the first biggest city you come to, and it's the liberal bastion of Montana. It's like Ben probably like had it in her contract that Ben stays in Missoula. Okay.
No,
Uh
I was out there yesterday. Come on.
okay.
But I will say though, it's not just the liberal bastion, it's also the concentrated place in Montana. According to our partner. Like if you've been to Missoula, you've seen the most dense population in the state.
Okay. So Montana is about 1.1 and a half, 1.2 million total. All right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the Seattle metropolitan area is over 3 million. So that's the whole state is less than one third what Seattle is. Okay. So here's Missoula, and you're saying you traveled south down
Yep.
down 93. Okay.
Down 93. Yeah.
Yep. I'm
So kind
seeing,
of like,
yep. Go ahead.
yeah. Yeah. Do you see Stevensville right there?
Yep. Right there. Yep.
Yeah. So that's where the field office for the Montana Dems that we're working out of, basically. So we're not working out of the Missoula Dems office. We're working out of Stevensville
Okay,
Dems office.
gonna zoom in a little bit here on Stevensville.
Mm-hmm.
Um, wow, I love this like in Montana kind of thing. It's the Bitterroot Valley, right?
It's the Bitterroot Valley. Yes, yes. Um, Also, David, as you're kind of like working your way down, you can also show people the area between Stevensville and Hamilton,
That's a little
actually.
far. Should I go south? Do I go south?
Yeah, further south. And I'm
Okay.
actually gonna join on my computer, so
Okay,
one
sure, sure,
second while
sure.
you do that.
Okay, so yeah, there's like it's a corridor of little towns it looks like in here. Bell Crossing, Victor, Corvallis. I didn't know there was a Corvallis, Montana. Hamilton. All right. Down 93. 93, I know, runs all the way as a two-lane highway, all the way down to Arizona, I'm pretty sure. It goes all the way maybe to the Mexican border. I'm not positive, but it's to the east of the Cascades, and then it's to the east of the Sierra Nevadas, and it goes all the way south. One time on a road trip, I was on 93 coming north out of Lake Tahoe, and we got stuck in there's a really bad traffic accident. So when there's a bad traffic accident on a two-lane road, you're just stopped. you're not going anywhere. So you just stop and people are out, they're talking and everything. And my shoes smelled really, really bad. My tennis shoes. I was on this road trip because like my feet stink, first of all. And then second, I had been like, swimming in water with them over the course of the trip and everything. So they're really stinking. So I set them outside of the car while we were stopped. And then when we
Yes.
started, you know what happened? I forgot to get them. All right.
Yeah.
So, so they're sitting somewhere along the road on 93 north of Lake Tahoe. All right.
Yes. Well, I hope it went to a home that will use them, David. Like I hope someone picked it up while
I
they
think
were
so.
stuck
If,
there.
if someone picked them up, they burned them. Okay. So we're coming south out of Missoula,
All
going back
right.
up here. We're coming south out of Missoula and we're going
Mm-hmm.
down 93. And you're saying that people are staying in Stevensville?
No, so we're actually staying in Missoula. So
Okay.
this is a
Okay.
bit of a strategic move on our part here. Well, it's two parts. One, we did not know that we were going to
Yeah.
be down in Hamilton and down in Stevensville until I believe like a week ago, like if not a few days ago. So we thought we would be canvassing in Missoula, actually, right? It's like a liberal college town, a lot of students to register and like get their ballots, that kind of thing. So but it turns out that the greater need was actually in Stevensville and Hamilton. And so we can actually come back to this in a bit, David, about why I think that is from the partner standpoint. But it turns out to work out for the better because Missoula has all of the things that we need, right? It has like good restaurants, like
Yeah.
grocery stores, everything that we need to like really, outfit a traveling group. And if we were to stay down closer to our canvassing turfs in Stevensville, Hamilton, we would have less of that convenience.
Sure. Okay, let me step back for a second, and then we're gonna come back. Let's step back, get picked bigger for a moment, you and me, and then we'll come
Sure.
back and dive into the Montana experience. So we have teams out in the field in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Montana, Arizona, and Washington State this weekend.
Yep.
What an incredible set of work. I as I noted it, according to the numbers Puya gave me, over 200 volunteers out in the field this weekend with CP.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one of my goals with this podcast over the next month and a half is to go on the road with us as much as possible. Okay. To
Okay.
to go on the road with you guys as much, I'm saying virtually. Okay,
Oh, I was gonna say, David, are you gonna do the RV trip that we've been
I
just
I
hearing about? Are
I
you
keep going back and forth in my head, Ben. Okay.
okay? Okay, well, you should do a blue wall tour, and we can talk about this offline. But I feel like, the last 2 weeks you should do a blue wall tour. But
So no, I totally want to. There's
yeah.
family things that are under consideration. So
Oh yeah, of course.
my goal is to get out there as much as we can, and to feature you all who are doing this work, and to get the snapshots, right, the
Yeah,
experiences.
yeah.
And so I'm thinking about some different CP like big Zooms because I love bringing people in via Zoom who aren't there. Um, so big like 47 hours of travel with CP, for example, on Zoom, something like this. And today's the first kind of doing of this. I'm also going to be with the podcast as it goes out today. Charles sent me a video that he put together of people arriving and getting started in Pennsylvania. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you two are in different, like very different states, and you're out there, and you're not leading the teams though, right? You're kind of like you're shepherding or overseeing. How would you describe what you're doing, Ben?
We are what our team needs in those states. So for example, right, like I'm in Montana because this is a completely new state that we're working in. We haven't really done something like this before in the state of Montana. It's also a completely new partnership, right? The Montana Democrats, we really don't have a lot of relationship with them. We haven't really reached out before until this year. So, and also the team leads themselves are kind of in it for the first time. They're excellent and competent and getting to know each other, but also like the nervousness and anxiety around doing something new, right? It's all there. So new state, new partnerships, new team leads. I'm here to just kind of like launch us to like really stabilize and ground us. So I am not leading volunteers but in a way, I'm almost kind of like modeling what a trip could look like and doing a lot of like behind the scenes work with a partner. and making sure that like we are off to a good start. We're off to a good start here. And that common power is gonna have it's gonna leave Montana with a good reputation.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love leaders who show up and don't uh drive the bus, but are on the bus and everybody sees them. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody's like, hey, Ben's here. We're gonna be out, we're gonna be okay. And of course you're gonna be okay, but it's just nice to have you there. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of what Jessica in Arizona is doing as well. Puya in Michigan with that team. And Charles is in Pennsylvania doing much of the same, but he has more of a hands-on role in Pennsylvania simply because there's just so many people there that
Yeah,
it's all hands on deck just by practicality. So there's a little bit of that too.
totally. Yeah. Now, how many are there in Montana?
30.
Okay. And how many of them, just ballpark off the top of your head, would you say are from that live in the state of Montana now?
About three currently live in Montana, but a lot more either grew up in Montana, was born in Montana, or have family currently in Montana. I mean, two of our team leads, right? Deb and Nancy, like chose to lead Team Montana and our group of volunteers because they have family here, their sons, their daughters. Yeah.
Yeah. Who are our team leads in Montana?
So that's gonna be Deb. So like Deborah and Nancy, kind of like as I was describing. They're recently retired or like quite a ways into their retirement, and they just want to be able to like do something that they have skin in the game, right? It's kind of how they would describe it. Like they have a stake in all of this. Their family is in Montana. The other team lead is Leslie, and Leslie is actually a contractor with us. She is a part of the operations team, and she does amazing work there, getting our sponsored volunteers to the ground. And she's also moonlighting as a Montana team lead. She's from the she's a graduate of the Action Academy program as well. So definitely a next generation leader in our system.
So
Um,
Is Leslie there?
oh yeah, Leslie's there. All four team leads are here. And the fourth team lead is Shy, and Shy is actually an educator from the
Oh my
Institute.
God, you have Shy.
Yeah, this is an A team. This is an A team, David. Like they really complement each other. Like Nancy loves being the rear guard and doing background work. Leslie has really good organization and admin skills. Like Deborah is just like in there mingling with people and making them feel welcome. And Shy just holds down the room. You know what I mean? So they have really good complementary skills.
Ben, I'm in awe of what you and all of the fieldwork team have built. It is so good. I just I'm in awe. I really am. It's like watching a great team, a great athletic team that you're just like, wow, wow, wow. So thank you. And
Mm-hmm.
so what are you having for breakfast, by the way? Are you eating Montana breakfast or are you still sticking with like the Seattle breakfast?
Kind of a little bit of both in a way. I try to find the most Seattle breakfast I could find in Missoula is kind of how I approached it. And I have a breakfast bowl. Well, you can't see it. Well, anyway, whatever. It's just quinoa, salad, toppings, dressing, solid breakfast.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so when did you cut? It's 10 a.m. Pacific time right now, Sunday. When did you get into Missoula or into Missoula?
Yeah, I got into Missoula on Friday at around 1 p.m.
Okay, so are you there
Hmm.
before other people get there, or and you're kind of waiting to meet people, or how's it?
Yeah,
What?
that's a good question. Yeah. So the way that our trips are set up, there's travel days, book ending, canvassing days, right? So our travel day for Team Montana and a bunch of other teams is Friday. So on Friday is the designated everybody fly in or just arrive to the city, right? So that was arrival day. We didn't start canvassing until yesterday on Saturday. So I arrived pretty early because there's a direct Alaska flight that was pretty short,
Yeah,
and I just took
yeah.
it. And also because I wanted to do some prep work with the team leads ahead of time too. So for the team leads and fieldwork staff, arrival day is actually kind of prep day.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you talk to us about like what it's been like and then is this drive that you drive to Hamilton each day is that burdensome or so what's going on?
Oh yeah. Okay. So let me just say that so yesterday we had the absolute pleasure of stopping by the Stevensville Democratic office. And we try to do this in the beginning of every trip to really talk to the partner or like have talking points to really connect with the voters that we're going to, because we live in, do you need the address?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I got it. I got it top of my head. Go ahead. Go back to map.
Go ahead.
Okay, so 211 Main Street. And that's in Stephenville. Stevensville. Yep, Stevensville. Yep, you got it.
And I'll probably, and you can guide me, I can probably go to like Google Earth on this, right?
Yeah, you can. Do you want, oh, so go ahead and go to drop the, so zoom in until you get to the point there. Yeah, go street view as much as you can. Okay. And then you see the little man at the very bottom on the right hand corner? Click and drag him to the main street. So like, yep, do it. All right.
Oh my gosh, blowing my mind. Okay.
Let's do it. Okay, now turn your view. So like click and drag to turn your view. There you go. There you
This
go.
way?
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So do you see how your pin pops up in like a gray when you hover over? So let go of drag, let go. And do you see how the pin is like right
Yeah.
there
Is that
in the
it?
gray? That's it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So,
It's in that building
wait, no, back out. Do you see the Jon Tester sign by the window right there?
over here.
Yeah, all of those Democratic signs right there in the window.
Yes.
Yes. That's the office.
Okay, so you all went into this office in yesterday.
Yeah. And while we're on it, why don't I actually show you a video of us going into the office, actually. So, David, I'm gonna share screen on my phone so that you will be able to see like stuff from my phone while I'm talking to you on my laptop. So we're gonna do a little bit of like a technological maneuvering here, but
Oh,
this is gonna work.
wizardry. This is wizardry. Yes. What just tell me what you need me to do.
Okay, I need you to stop sharing screen.
Oh, me to stop, okay.
Okay, you to stop. And then I am gonna enter Slack via my phone and you need to let me in, okay?
Okay. Whoa.
Okay.
This is the kind of stuff we're talking about, folks. We're going to be doing right here.
Okay. So recording in progress. Okay, so this is my phone.
It's blurry, just so you know.
Give me sharing access, make me co-host.
On the one, which one?
Make me the one that's not showing my face.
Okay.
Oh wait, here, let me rename myself to Ben Tech.
This is the best thing ever. Okay. This is like syncing up a phone in the car, which anybody over the age of 40 is like, wow, look at what it does. It can sync up. What do you mean? You can connect it? And anybody under 20, they don't even move the car until it's synced. Okay.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna share my screen here. Um,
And once you
all
start
right.
to put something up, I'm going to make you the full screen.
Oh, okay, that's good. Does Zoom have access to this? Yes, they do. Okay. Sorry, a little bit of maneuvering on my end too. I recently had to re-download Zoom. There you go. Do you see my phone?
I totally do. Yes.
Okay, great. All right. So, I'm gonna show you what it's like to walk into the office with us. So
Oh,
here we go.
man.
Oh, and Marcy's calling me. Hold on a second. Oh, later. I'll get back to her later. Okay. Okay. So do you see the video?
Yeah, it's a little jagged, but yeah, we see it.
Okay, good. It just might have to do with Wi-Fi here, but so like these are our volunteers coming into the office.
That was Nancy right there,
Okay, I'm gonna
wasn't
call
it?
her back later.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them are kind of like signing in. And we have our organizers here. And she's like wearing a mind your damn business shirt right there. Like that's
That's
so
so
like that
classic. That's Montana all the way, right?
it really is. And so the whole room is just our volunteers. Like everybody here is just our volunteers. And we took a wonderful picture with them at the end of the day here. Um, and I'm showing this to like really tell you all that like the need is really real in Raleigh County, and that's why we were there. And that's
Stop
simply
calling,
because
Marcy. Okay.
we I know. I think I need to like kind of like figure out what's going on because she usually doesn't call me this often.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, okay. But yes, I'm gonna stop sharing. But the need is so real in Raleigh that like when they heard that there were like 20 something, 30 something people coming down to help out, they were freaking out. They were like, this is all the Dems in Raleigh could talk about all day, like for days on end. So it was great. Okay.
Here,
I
hang on
need
a
to figure out how
second.
to stop sharing screen.
Okay, hang on. Let's see here. Before you
Okay.
do that,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to blow yours up. So, because to make your phone bigger. Can you show us that picture again of all of you? Or
Yeah. This one?
yeah.
The one with my finger in the way? Yep. Yeah.
So this
So
is all CP.
this is all CP. So right there, that's our team on the ground.
So how do you think it like numerically, how do you think like our presence there is relative to what they would normally have on a Saturday or a Sunday?
Um, the organizers have been telling us that there's really only been 4 or 5 volunteers throughout the entire season in that county. A lot of people are in Missoula. A lot of people are like wanting to do work in Bozeman, you know, like more liberal spaces. So
Yeah.
if they really had to do more paid canvassing down there. So from a volunteering perspective, this is phenomenal. This is like not you don't see this in an office on a Saturday.
Okay, one more thing, and then we'll get off the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I see a sign that says "Defending Montana,"
Yeah.
and then I see the Monica, is it Tranell
Yeah,
signs?
Monica Trinnell.
Yeah, I know she's running for office, but I'm looking for the non-named signs, the ones that are just general about Montana. Defending Montana, volunteers win elections. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Okay,
Yep.
that's good. We can take you off a screen share because
Okay.
I want to talk to you about what you're telling ask you what you're telling people when you knock on doors.
That sounds good. Okay. I need to figure out how to stop sharing screen. So I will simply
I can
leave.
take back screen sharing and that'll stop you.
Thank you. Please do. Please do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna leave this as well.
Okay, I'm looking at the street level view again. So I
Mm,
see defending Montana. I see what's that one? Stop. No, no, Ryan Boosie, he's running for office. Okay.
mm-hmm.
Um, okay. All right, I'm gonna come off a screen share too. Um, so mostly people that don't live in Montana are on this team. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now they have some chunk of them have roots in Montana. Um, but like what is the experience of our volunteers in terms of how we're talking to voters in Montana?
Mm. This is really interesting. Can I actually show you some lit
Yeah,
that we've been
please.
passing out? Okay.
This is making me
So,
so happy. Yes.
okay. So first things first, this is the tester lit right here. Oh, it's blurry. Can I turn off blur on my thing? Um, nope, I just made it more blurry. Okay. So I will send you a picture of this, David, but this is the tester lit right here. Oh my God. It's not really working. But I'll just read it out loud. Okay. Um, so this is Tester's lit where he talks about his achievements and accomplishments with Montana. And the last bullet point here is that Jon is demanding Joe Biden secure the southern border and keep Montanans safe. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. And this is Monica.
Don't move it. Oh, no, pull it
Oh,
back to your
God, fuck.
face. Pull it
Okay,
back to like where your face is.
my face.
Right there, I
Yeah,
can see that's her,
okay, we can see her
Monica.
face. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is Monica, and she's running for the U.S. House, and they have a really good feeling about flipping that House district or House seat for her. Um,
Yeah, it's the
but anyway,
Montana first in the western half of Montana. Yep.
exactly. Yes. And the lit here is that like she's spent her career working for Montana ranchers, teachers, small business owners, and working families, gone toe to toe with some of the most powerful corporations in the world and won. Um, and that's her thing. And then this is Ryan Boosie right here. He's oh God, there we go. Yep, that's him. He's running for governor. And the way that he's thinking about all of this is that like you should deserve to live here. The previous governor or current governor is running up property taxes, and that's making it a lot unaffordable, right? Nowhere in here is it about Democrats or democratic values. In fact, like we were told at the field office to not even compare the candidates that we were canvassing for to the Harris campaign. Like we were told explicitly to like, a lot of the policies are the same, the game plan is the same, but don't make that comparison to the Harris's plan or the Harris's campaign. It's seen as a big negative here.
Okay.
And that came a lot out on doors, our volunteers, and I was out there too yesterday. And it was a bit of a mental exercise because we were sent specifically to talk to persuade voters that will vote for Tester or hopefully can vote for Tester, have voted for him in the past, but will vote for Trump this year.
They will vote for Trump, right?
They will vote for Trump, but they might vote for Tester, and those were the voters that we were talking about. So you could not bring up Democrats, you could not bring up Kamala Harris, you couldn't really do any of like the talking points that like a liberal volunteer in like a blue district in a swing state would usually do. It was quite interesting.
Yeah. So in 2020, Donald Trump beat Joe Biden in Montana by 16 points, 16 percentage points, 56-40. And then there were some third-party candidates on the ticket, 56-40. It's likely going to be even bigger than that this time, Trump and Harris, with Harris on the ticket because of her, woman of color identities. So Jon Tester is running and trying to win as a Democratic Party incumbent as the U.S. Senator in a state that the top of the ticket, the presidential candidate, is going to lose by probably 20 points. Hillary Clinton lost it by 20 in 2016. So Harris is probably going to lose it by 20 points. Tester thus has to cut that in half, to win. All right. So he has to run 10 points ahead of the top of the ticket. That is the most difficult thing for any Senate candidate to do. Larry Hogan's trying to do something like that in Maryland for the Republicans. Yeah. Jon Tester's trying to do it in Montana. So that distance, him talking about the border, and I know some of his ads have been like, I stood up to Biden. All right. I'm not a lackey of Biden. And like, I think he might even invoke Trump in one of his ads. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because he has to present himself as an independent thinker and an independent politician that works for Montana, and really what we've seen though, while we were talking to voters is this shift. We were talking to voters that have said, I voted for Tester and I'm not going to again.
Oh.
Yeah. And when we kind of get to like why is that? Tell me more. It's just like what comes out of some of the voters' mouth. It's just a repeat of Fox News. It's just all these buzzwords. They've done a really good job of tying Tester's record, image, whatever, to just Democrat. And Democrat is like a hard wall here for some of these voters. If you're associated with that side, then like nothing else matters, right? So I think the GOP has done a really good job of associating him in their communications in a way that like just, well, look at the facts, look at the accomplishments, look at what he's done for you, right? That doesn't break through.
Yeah, I think, the integrity of common power leads me to say to CP Nation, who is listening to this podcast, I like to say it, CP Nation, that Jon Tester is, if we win in Montana with Jon Tester, it will be very fortunate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving it all we've got, but Tester is probably got about a 20% chance to win at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to need some things to go our way. There's going to need to be something that happens and works our way, maybe in a debate that they have that kind of goes Tester's
Right.
way. Tester is a 3-term incumbent, though. That's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. He won in 2006, re-election 2012,
Yeah.
re-election narrowly in 2018. So he's a 3 terms he's been there. And he's got a good shot, but I mean, for any Democrat, like as good as he
Right.
could have, he's got a
Right.
good shot. But it's going to be really, really challenging. So when you're there, how does that what's like, do people who are doing the work with us there, are they uh like, do they understand this challenge? Are you all getting this very clearly?
Oh, for sure. I mean, we we know that like as soon as we found out we were going to be in Raleigh County, right? We knew that these were going to be hard conversations, some of the toughest conversations with voters we've ever had. And when I say we, I mean like CP, you know?
Mm.
And we started off our morning kickoff yesterday with just level setting that like these are going to be hard doors, hard voters, hard conversations. You probably won't gain a lot of traction on this trip in any way, but the fact that we are being sent there, and for every 50 hard no's, there's 2 or 3 undecided voters that can
Mm.
really make the difference. Our partner was telling us, and you know this, David, like the last margin for Tester was like 6,000 votes, right? And
Yep.
that came down to like maybe less than 5 votes per precinct.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are going to be talking to precincts full of voters, right? And like 98% of them have already made up their mind, it comes down to the last 2% that can really sway the election one way or another. And those are the conversations that we have to hope to keep having and just move on beyond the ones that like we get stuck at.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you one more question. Because our volunteers, they they rightfully ask about like being safe out there.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
being safe when we're canvassing. And I know that we have a general position on safety, which I'm going to ask you
Mm-hmm.
to tell us right here. And then I want to ask you to take it into Montana. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when a volunteer asks you just generally right now about, hey, is it safe to knock doors in a Philadelphia or a Milwaukee or anywhere
Yeah.
we go? Is it
Yeah.
safe? What's the CP answer to that?
The CP answer to that is that yes, safety is one of our highest consideration and priority while we're in the field, you know? And safety is interesting because the way that we think about safety is physical safety, and then there's another sense of safety that actually feels more like comfort and familiarity, right?
Hmm.
And at Common Power, we distinguish between the two of them.
Hmm.
And like feeling unsafe is a very real like physiological reaction that like people experience and have due to a variety of things, you know? But if you're feeling unsafe without signs of risk being present, then that might actually be more like I'm uncomfortable in this place and because it's a foreign place to me. And so we train people to really examine that feeling because we are going to be knocking on neighborhoods that are real, like people have never been to before in a variety of ways, right? Like I've never been to Montana and like canvassed in the ranches and the ridges and all of that. And I feel quite uncomfortable. I feel
Hmm.
quite uncomfortable, but it's not unsafe, right? It's not unsafe
Hmm.
because there's been no signs of like someone's going to do harm to me.
Hmm.
Someone is going to like, there's malicious intent upon my team or like my group, right? And there hasn't been like an escalation of signals that I should be thinking about my physical safety and the people around me. But I feel uncomfortable. So we teach people the difference between
Hmm.
comfort and safety. And then but like pulling back a little bit, safety with door knocking, we've never had an incident of harm while door knocking, coming to a volunteer while doing our jobs. It is incredibly rare that we get a brush with violence, right? And one of the things that we say a lot to our volunteers is that it's safer to door knock right now than to go to school. Like it's more
Hmm.
dangerous for your kids to go to school statistically than for you to door knock, right? That's so sad, but it's very true. Like danger exists whether you are in because you live in America. Danger exists because you live in America. So
Yeah.
um and so we come up with a lot of best practices in volunteering to, you know, make sure that people feel safe and that people stay safe. So we door knock in pairs, we stay with our cars, we have like communication signals and systems on and stuff like that. So to the best of our ability, we put safety at the forefront with our volunteers, and we are very real with what that safety means.
So each day you're driving from Missoula to the
Yep,
canvassing, and then do you spend the whole day there and then you drive back to your hotel?
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Um, and uh are people there? They came in Friday. Are they most of them leaving tonight, or are they staying until tomorrow? Or
Yeah, some of them are leaving tonight. Some people love to just do the weekend. So we get some people tapering off on Monday, but a good chunk of people are staying until Wednesday. That's when the
Wednesday?
departure day is
Wow.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, because I'm looking at the because I've been thinking about how to do some of these podcasts well over the next 6 weeks, and I was looking at the fieldwork calendar, and I see our trips are most of the time Friday to
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday,
Yep.
right? And so, tell us why that is as we wrap up here. Why is it? Why do you pick those dates?
For sure. So being there for the weekend is really important. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays is usually when our partners have canvas launches because the
Mm,
weekend is where a lot of volunteering activity naturally takes place, right? A lot of events, a lot of rallies happen on the weekends. So we should be there for the weekend. Um, and doing 4 days of canvassing, right? Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days is the sweet spot. We
huh,
found throughout like our work that like 2, 3 days is a little too short, especially if you're putting down money and if you're putting down time to fly across the
okay.
country, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people really, really tire out after 3.5 days. So they hit what we call the third day wall, where they're like, I'm physically tired. I've been walking all day. I'm with a bunch of people that I may or may not know. There's a lot of interactions from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. You know what I mean? So people kind of, you know, burn out after 3.5 days. So the 4 day canvassing trip is the sweet spot. And we had to be there for the weekend. It's arbitrary that we've done Friday to Wednesday instead of like a Thursday to Tuesday, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a part of that too is because the field team doesn't want to fly on a Tuesday when the staff meeting is happening. So that factors into it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, as I understand, are you leaving and going to somewhere else this weekend
Yeah,
or not?
I am. So I'm leaving Monday AM, 5 a.m. at 5 a.m. flight out of Missoula to Arizona. So I'm going to Phoenix.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Well, two national polls came out a couple hours ago from Wall Street Journal and CBS News that show Harris up 4 and 5 points nationally. And these
Mm.
are pollsters that are really high quality pollsters. Um, and so everything points to Harris having a slight national lead and building a slightly larger lead in the key states. All right. So we 2 months ago, it's the 22nd, the 23rd of July. It's the 22nd of September. The 23rd of July is when Joe Biden announced that he wasn't going to run for reelection. So we're only 2 months from that. It's all it's been. Um,
Yeah.
but the world has tilted politically for us since then. Um, and of all of the states that Common Power is working in this fall, the state where that tilt from Biden to Harris hurts us the most is Montana. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
of all the states we're
Mm-hmm.
working in, it is the state where Biden on the ticket, even not that popular of a Biden, was going to be more helpful to Jon Tester than Kamala Harris on the ticket. That is just a
Yep.
truth. All
Yep.
right. So I feel really good that we are there and we're giving it all we've got. And I just I'm going to keep believing that we're going to hold the Senate in the narrowest of margins, that it's either going to be with Montana and Ohio winning narrowly there, which we have to do, or picking up a seat like in a Texas or a Florida. Those are the two chances we've got, because I just think that the energy is on our side. So we're going to give it everything we've got. So Ben, thanks a ton for your leadership. And if we were, just as for my FYI for myself as we go forward, if you were in the field with everybody right now and we were doing a podcast or another kind of Zoom, and I said, hey, Ben, can you join us for like 20 minutes or something? Would you be able to like come in and talk to us and maybe bring in a volunteer or something? Or you're in the office and you're like, I mean, the campaign office, where like these little snippets, because that's what I'm hoping to get, is like some of that in real time as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I think it's a little hard because we kind of split off. So I might not be with a volunteer necessarily. Like we might be on outside street, but I think it's doable. Maybe not in Montana though. I've been in some places with no signal yesterday. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's doable for sure.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Well, I think like, so anyways, that's great. Hey, thanks a ton. Have a drink on me. All right. Later.
Okay.
You don't drink, or do you?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Because I know CPers, they like to have their wine and their beers at the end of the day. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta unwind, you know.
Totally. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us, Ben.
Yeah. Thanks, David.
Okay.
All right.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.